All right, so the next speaker is Sebastian Sosa, and he will tell us about understanding resilience in animal networks in case of the Macaque social style.
So, hi everyone, my name is Sebastian. I'm a postdoc in Sun Yat-sen University in the Primates and Evolutionary Anthropology Laboratory in Guangzhou, China. And today I will present you a work in collaboration with Dr. Ivan Puga-Gonzalez and Professor Cedric Sueur from the EPHC of the University of Strasbourg in France. So this work attempts to study animal societies, resiliencies, properties, through the use of a self-organized model that simulates macaque social structure diversity. So, as you may know, sociobiologists see societies as an evolutionary system ruled by selective pressure that is meant to evolve. And living in group brings many advantages, such as knowledge transmission, increase of vigilancy, dilution effect in front of predation, cultural transmission, anti-infanticides, and optimization of foraging, for example. However, living in group brings also many disadvantages, such as intra-group competition for mating opportunities or accesses to resources, and also the increase of probability to acquire and spread infectious disease. So societies can be seen as an equilibrium between these disadvantages and advantages. And in order to maintain this homeostasis, animals have several affiliative behaviors that can be categorized. And on non-human primates, one of them is very important and is called allogrooming behavior. These social behaviors allow individuals to create, maintain, affiliative, long-standing social bonds with preferential individuals in the group, and it's also known to play an important role in reciprocity phenomenon. As we know that allogrooming behaviors allow individuals to establish a market of exchanges of services through, for example, coalition process for future fights. So these affiliative behaviors are the glue of a social structure and allow animal societies to be robust for optimal information transmission, for example, robust for dealing with spread of disease, and also by increasing individual fitness. At a more global aspect, this affiliative structure allow animal society to be resilient and to maintain themselves through geological times. Another aspect of animal societies is their diversity, as we can observe a wide range of different social structures, going from multi-male, multi-female societies, polygyny one-male groups, or multi-level societies, for example. Another aspect of diversity is the degree of expression of the hierarchy that allow us to classify different species according to a gradient of dominant style, going from egalitarian ones to despotic ones. I will go in further details in the next slide on this point, but first of all I would like to present you what primatologists are using since many decades to study animal societies. The genus Macaque, who hold more than 20 species, and biologists are using this biological model due to their similarities, as they live in multi-male, multi-female groups, in large groups where female are philopatric and male disperse when they reach sexual maturity. We also observe social structure around matrilineal clans and with transmission of the hierarchical rank of the mother to their daughters. Another aspect is their dissimilarities, as we can observe them in a large biotope variability. And one of the main points is what we call dominant style, so the expression of the hierarchy, which is variation and covariation of behavioral traits, and allow us to classify these different species in a 4-grade scale of dominant style, going from egalitarian, in which we will find, for example, high intensity of aggression, high frequency of fights, mothering permissive style, low influence of nepotism, and high tendency of reconciliation after a conflict, in the contrary as of despotic styles. So for obvious reason of difficulties to collect data on several species in order to make a comparison, and also due to the fact that we can include bias due to data collection and group composition, we decide to study this overall network structure according to the dominant style of macaques in a self-organized model built by Dr. Ivan Puga-Gonzalez during his PhD. And this self-organized model called Groovy World is an extension of an already known self-organized model built by his PhD supervisor, Charlotte Emmerich. And both of them are a spatially explicit model where agents are free to move, to fight, and groom. So they will decide to fight by evaluating their probability to win the fight according to intrinsic characteristic of previous fight or of their opponent. And then they will decide to groom individuals according to their anxiety, who will increase after they lose a fight or naturally through time. These self-organized models have been shown to recreate affiliative patterns and network features similar to despotic and egalitarian societies, real societies. As, for example, we can observe as in empirical data that a network of despotic societies are less dense, more modular, and more centralized, for example. So we simulate several groups of different size, going from 10 to 50. In each one of these groups, we create two types of societies, despotic and egalitarian ones, and we simulate 100 of each time. And then we run some delation simulation of two types. First of all, target deletions by deleting individual with highest degree, and then random deletion by deleting any kind of individuals. Each time we delete an individual, we compute several global networks metrics such as diameter, clustering coefficient, modularity, and global efficiency. The idea of this research is to focus on two main points that we study through two different general linear mixed model. The first one is to see if we have a different influence of the type of target of deletion, and the second one is a difference in sensitivity of target deletion according to dominant style. For each of these GLMM, we put network as random factor to handle repetition measurement through deletion. So, okay. So as you can see, according to the size of the networks, we can observe different in random deletion. This can be explained by the fact that despotic society have some individuals in the periphery of the network that have very few connections, and by deleting one node that makes the bridge between the group and those individuals, we can observe some individual detached from the network. So, in conclusion, as you can see, even if we observe some diversity in social structure in these kind of primates, we observe that the network will behave similarly according to target deletion. And this can be seen as a trade-off between a centralized society who will be sensitive to target deletion and a decentralized one who will be more sensitive to random deletion. So from a biological point of view, we can suppose that such structure have been selected through time, through time. So about future research, we are of course trying to apply such approach in real data sets by collecting several allogrooming network in different kind of species. We will also try to investigate weak ties. Our preliminary results are showing that by deleting the weakest tie, 10% of the weakest ties, we do observe an increase of network disruption. And finally, from a long perspective, we would like to perform this kind of analysis on very different species having very different kind of social structure. Thank you very much for your attention.